My name is Stephanie. My pronouns are she and her.
My name's Abby. My pronouns are also she and her.
And you might recognize us if you've heard any of the Dope podcasts from a few episodes on the Dope. We are both co-hosts, and I'm a producer of the podcast. And we are doing a review today of The Happiest Season, which is the gay-ass Christmas movie that came out last week.
On Hulu.
On Hulu. Obviously, don't watch this video if you haven't seen it yet, because we're going to be spoiling a lot.
Yeah.
Because, so many unexpected things happen in that movie. So yeah, let's start with our first kind of impressions, how we went into, how we thought the movie was going to be, and then, our overall feeling of it towards the end. You want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So, I don't watch Christmas movies. I think they're predictable and heterosexual. I mean, have you guys seen that meme where it has all the covers of all the Hallmark Christmas movies? And it's like, white person, white girl, white boy, green and red, standing close. And then it's the same thing 20 times.
They're all literally white boy with brown hair,
Yeah.
white girl with blonde hair. She wears red, he wears green. Literally all of them.
Yeah.
I just looked at one of those this morning.
So I avoid them. I mean, even the good Christmas movies I don't even really watch. But we sat down to watch this one together because it's gay. And we love gay things because we're gay. We're gay for each other, in fact.
We are.
I hope so. We're so pretty close. So I went into it thinking, oh, okay, it's just gonna be another Christmas movie. The trailer I didn't really like. I don't think the trailer reflected the movie well.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like. But
I don't know. I couldn't tell you what plot I got from the trailer. I
exactly.
saw Kristen Stewart, Aubrey Plaza, and Dan Levy, and I was sold.
Well, regardless, I just wanted to watch it because I love me some Woman, Love Woman, and we have been living high off of that ever since The Haunting of Bly Manor, which...
And Umbrella Academy.
was so good. And Umbrella Academy, and...
I guess spoilers for those as well, if you haven't seen them. Probably shouldn't be watching this either.
And One Day at a Time.
Yeah.
Which we also did a Dope episode on. So I went to it expecting some gay, expecting to enjoy myself. And I did. I got both those things. At the end, I was surprised at how much I had cried, but I also felt really good. So my overall feelings about the movie were I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the plot. Yeah, so that's kind of my first impression and my last impression. So how are you? And I'm gonna plug in the Christmas tree.
I don't know. I didn't really have a lot of expectations plot wise because my mom loves cheesy Hallmark movies, Hallmark Christmas movies. So I've seen a lot of those, and so I just kind of expected that formula, but with gay, and that's pretty much what it is. I mean, it's not a revolutionary plot, but I don't think it has to be, and I really appreciate that it's not trying to be, because if there can be a million Hallmark movies about straight couples overcoming some sort of obstacle at Christmas and then being happy, then why can't there be a gay one? It's like Love, Simon didn't have to be this revolutionary coming of age story or anything. It was just meant to be a gay rom-com for teens, and I think that it's the same thing with this. It's not supposed to do anything crazy. It's just a gay Christmas rom-com, and we got that. I was really excited about the cast of it because I huge Parks and Rec fan. It's my favorite. So I was really excited that Aubrey Plaza was in it. I've recently learned to appreciate Kristen Stewart after years of my like anti-Twilight phase.
We all had that.
So I was excited to see, like, I think this and Ocean's 8 are like the only non-Twilight things I've seen. Other Zathura as a child, I guess. But so it was nice to see her in that sort of material. And then like I also really love Schitt's Creek, so Dan Levy that was a big selling point for me, was him being in it. And yeah, I didn't expect to cry, like you said, didn't expect to cry as much as I did, but I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. Overall I really enjoyed it. It's one that I can see myself watching again in future Christmas tree decorating nights. And I also am not a big Christmas movie fan. I like Elf, but that's about it. I also wasn't expecting the sister dynamic in it, because Harper has two sisters, and it's a lot of like competitiveness between two of them, and then there's just like the weird one. And like I wasn't really expecting as much of that as there was, and I mean they're kind of awful to each other at times, but like they also they in the end, like they do love each other, and I really appreciated that, even though like there were some things where I was like, I don't know if I'd forgive my sister if she did that to me, but like it's also it's a fictional idealized movie, so forgiveness happens when it wouldn't necessarily work in real life, I guess, in those. So I'm not too mad about it, I guess. But yeah, I really liked when they weren't awful, the family dynamic, and seeing how the family was, they changed and became so accepting and loving. Yeah.
Talking about not expecting to cry as much, that's a nice segue into kind of like the next section that we're going to talk about, which is some of like the controversy that we've seen around the reviews of this movie. And talking to some friends, I haven't read anything negative online about it, but I know that some people are kind of upset that it was so sad. Like, I did not expect to cry going into watch this lesbian Christmas movie, but I did. And part of me is wondering if I cried because I'm bisexual and because I've had similar experiences as to what the characters are going through, or if just because it's a human reaction. I'm not quite sure. I could tell the difference. And a lot of the other controversy that I've seen is that she should have ended up with someone else.
Yeah.
So you said you want...
Well, before we get to that, though, I just want to know what part of it was it that made you cry? Like, what's like the standout thing that you cried about?
I cried... For me, it was personal, because when we first started dating, we kept it low-key for a while. For a solid week, it was like completely secret from everyone we knew. And then we told our parents and our friends, and about a month later, we both posted it online. But there was a scary moment because Abby hadn't even come out to her family yet. And she had to do both those things at once. And I knew my parents would be okay with it because I was already out to them. But it was a little scary thinking about your family.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's one of those things, I knew that my family would love and accept me no matter what. But this was such a unique thing that I wasn't sure how difficult it would be.
I feel like, everyone who's part of the LGBT community has had to come out and continues to have to come out throughout their whole entire life. I saw some people complaining that this is just another kind of like coming out movie, which I completely understand, but at the same time, that's a big deal for
It's
us.
a really relatable situation, yeah.
It is. And watching Harper get so worked up about being afraid to come out to her family and being afraid to not be the favorite anymore. And watching Abi get so frustrated with her. It was just too real.
Yeah.
It made me feel a lot of things. And then also listening to Aubrey Plaza's character tell the story of what Harper did to her in high school. That was shitty. And
yeah,
that hurt. That I could relate to similar experiences too. So
yeah.
that's what really upset me.
Yeah.
But I think it was worth it. Some people didn't.
I think what really, like, the point where I, like, started crying and then, like, just didn't stop for, like, the rest of the movie was when Harper's sister outed her and she denied it and Abi left and John followed her, and that scene where he has that like monologue about coming out and about how it's not easy for everyone and not everyone has an accepting family, like that really got me.
But then at the same time, when Abi responds to him, because what he said was like so important, I think, for even us to hear. But then when Abi turns around and says, "I don't know if I can be with someone who's not out to her family too," that's also like extremely valid.
Yeah.
They had opposing opinions, and both of them were like, yeah, and those are valid and understandable, and your feelings and important. Right. So
yeah,
that was a really good.
He had. I read an interview with the director, who also co-wrote the film, and she talked about how important it was to her to write Harper's situation and the way that Harper reacts to it, which is why I disagree with a lot of the controversy about like whether or not Abi and Harper should have stayed together, and how Harper is a terrible person and all this stuff. She talked about how like important it was to her to have that story be told, because that is the reality for so many people, and like, you know, people, and it's one of those things that it's a very emotional thing to try to come out to your family, especially if your family's not accepting, and people sometimes react in horrible ways, and you know, it doesn't justify what they've done, but it's something that really was important to the director. It was a story that was really connected with her, and that she felt needed to be told. And so like hearing that justification from the creator of the story made me look at it a different way, because at first like I was like, you know, that's awful, I don't think she should get back together with her, I don't think that, you know, that Harper should forgive her sister for outing her to the family, and I don't think Abi should forgive Harper and all this stuff. But like reading the creator's justification for why she wanted to tell the story that way made it make more sense to me. Mm-hmm. And it really did kind of change my opinion on that and shift my view on it a bit, where like, you know, it was an awful thing to do, but she doesn't just do it and then just hope that you can just go back to like she actually like goes and apologizes, and she ends up standing up to her family for who she is, and standing up against her family for Abi, and you know, maybe the hate and criticism that is constantly being thrown at Harper isn't fair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, this really happens, these kinds of situations, and I personally am extremely happy that they ended up together.
Yeah.
As much as I love Riley as a character, I would have been so disappointed if Abby and Riley had ended up together, because I just want to see a happy gay love story, and this movie gave it to me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it was a rough road.
Well, and also, like, something that I read an article today about, like, you know, Harper's bad and she should have went with Riley. And I was reading through the comments, and most of the comments were saying that too. There was one that really stood out to me that, like, pointed out that if they had went that route with it, it would completely kind of fall into the trope of women who are attracted to other women will just fall for whatever other woman they get a chance to be around, and
it could have gone so wrong.
Yeah, and it would have completely invalidated the, like, platonic supportive friendship that Abby and Riley
can have.
develop. Yeah, and like I mean, people in the queer community are, like, it's so important for us to have friends who are also in the community and who understand what we go through and what we experience. And so to if they had done away with that just to give her this other love interest instead, I don't really like that message as much.
Yeah, and it's a Christmas movie. Come on, people. You're really gonna have the main couple break up in a Christmas movie? The straights don't have to deal with that.
Exactly.
Do you have anything else to say about, like, the controversy around different people's opinions?
I think the different opinions are valid. Like, everyone has their own personal reason why they react the way that they do, and, you know, I can definitely see how, you know, maybe someone who had been through what Riley went through would be really upset to see Harper get the happy ending in the end. But I think I liked the ending the way it was, and I think it's also important to look at why the story was told the way it was told. And, you know, instead of just, like, I mean, everyone has ships that they like from various things that aren't the couple that ends up together, and that's fine. But, like, I don't know, I feel like in this one they made the right call.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Let's talk about a little bit more about the things we liked about the movie, and let's give it a rating out of 10, 10 being the best movie you've ever seen in the whole wide world. So for me, Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, with Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. And for you, the 1999 made-for-TV Annie remake.
That's in the top 3. That's not the number 1.
You want to go first this time?
Oof. Out of all movies ever, I would have to probably give it
closing thoughts.
I loved any scene with Dan Levy. the various things with the fish while it was sad. The fish died. I thought that was absolutely hilarious.
The comic relief.
First she has to, like, remind him to feed the fish, and then, like, next time she calls, he's scooping the fish out, and then he's at the pet store. Like, it was just, it was fantastic.
The climax, he's oh my god.
I loved him. He was great. And then also, like, Jane, the kind of crazy sister. I loved any scene she was in.
She just wants to be appreciated.
And, like, there was another thing that I kind of saw a bit of controversy about, that people were like, why can't women have creative career choices and be eccentric without being the weird outcast. And I don't think that, I don't know what they were watching, because like I don't think she was really portrayed like that at all. The family saw her that way, but in the end, like that was one of the things that the family is called out for.
The family was
And
also kind of homophobic. So
the family was
they had a lot of
a
learning
mess.
to do. Yeah.
um
Anyway.
but yeah, no, I think the family is called out for treating her that way. And so it's not, the movie isn't necessarily playing into that trope, because like she's a genuine like character who has these goals and ideas and stuff, and the family brushes her off. And I mean, in the end, like I said, they get called out for it. So but yeah, I loved her. And I loved Kristen Stewart's wardrobe choices.
Yes. Oh god.
The costuming in this movie was pretty great.
Oh, she's so pretty. Okay.
Like they had her in suits for pretty much the whole movie, and it was fantastic. It was a really great look. It was really nice to see Aubrey Plaza play a character that wasn't Aubrey Plaza. Like,
yeah.
I love April in Parks and Rec, but it was nice to see something different from her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, out of movies overall, I'd give it probably 5.3,
Okay.
just because it's something you can really only watch like at a certain time of year.
That makes it sound like you didn't like it.
No, I don't mean it like that. Out of Christmas movies, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 9.2.
All right. It's really high. I
really enjoyed it.
I like the point system. So, okay. So, I also really enjoyed it. I will not be rating it out of Christmas movies, though, because I have not seen enough Christmas movies. But that being said, I really liked it. I enjoyed the characters. I thought the writing was really well done. I enjoyed the plot. It gave me enough twists and emotions, and it didn't feel incredibly predictable, but I also knew it was going to end happy. It did, thank God. I think there were really beautiful scenes in it, really beautiful lines that I've seen like already gifted on Twitter. You know, good comedy with the fish and other scenes. Real feelings, the feeling of being left out, the feeling of your girlfriend, not that this is something you've done by any means, but the feeling of someone you love having fun without you. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And I think a really beautiful scene was the first and only scene, I believe, where you see just the parents. And that's right after Harper comes out to them, and the dad goes away to the study,
That's a good one.
and the mom comes after him and is like, our daughters feel like they can't talk to us, and that's a problem. And that's
a really good scene.
Yeah, a lot of parents don't get that far. So to watch them, the mom, come so closely to like cause and effect, this is my fault, and I need to fix that, was so beautiful, and something I think a lot of queer people wish they had.
I really liked that scene too, because like it was nice to see them acknowledge that it was their fault and they needed to fix it, instead of, you know, just being like, well, the family's a mess. They've made a mess, they've embarrassed us, we can never recover. Like, they were actually like, it showed that even though they were very misguided and had some not great opinions and ways of doing things, they genuinely did care about their daughters, and that they were willing to change to help them.
And scenes like that one and some of John's lines when he was talking to Abby, and there's just parts that the queer community needs to see, especially young ones who might be afraid to come out or have come out and it went badly. The thing about queer movies is we almost can't judge them on the same scale as like every other movie because we're not equal yet, especially in representation.
Yeah.
I also say just seeing two women
sucks.
Yeah, it does. I also say that just seeing two women love each other on screen has such a special place in my heart, obviously, because of our relationship.
Yeah.
Seeing two women just kind of hug each other and just like knowing that they're both getting face full of each other's hair, like something so small that I can relate to, that I can look at the screen and it feels and it looks and it sounds like my relationship.
Seeing two women on screen who love each other and are able to express that in ways that a normal relationship would, you know, they're able to hold each other and kiss each other, hold hands, and it's not set up for the male gaze.
Exactly.
It's really nice too.
It's like I said, it's important. It's important for queers to see. It's important for young queers to see, especially, I think.
Yeah.
So that all being said, I think this movie had a lot of great points, a lot of things that we needed. And I felt very full and warm and happy at the end. And like I said, I'm rating it of all movies I've ever seen. I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8 out of all movies ever.
Is that too high?
No, I'm surprised.
Listen, you put a woman-love-woman relationship in a movie or a show or anything, it's going to automatically be higher than everything else.
That's fair.
That's just the gay agenda.
That's fair. It's a fair point.
Okay, any closing thoughts? Go watch it. It's on Hulu. If you don't have Hulu, let me know. I'll give you my login.
Don't promise that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching our video. Thank you so much for having this talk with us. Check out our podcast on wherever you listen to your podcasts. I believe we're on Apple and Google Podcasts. Like our Facebook page, it's Reflect Media. Donate to our Indiegogo, which I will put down in the description. A link to that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Abby.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
We had to watch Annie so that we could see Victor Garber in a positive parental role.
Wait, that's the same guy?
Yes.
Wait. The dad?
Yeah.
And
Mr. Warbucks in the 99 version of Annie. Yes. Yes, it was the same guy.
He got wrinkly.
It happens when you get old.